Joining us for the Cloverdale City Council meeting. I'll call the meeting to order at 6 o'clock. But everyone please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Michael, can you get a roll call, please?
Thank you, Mayor. Let the record reflect that all council members are present.
Any council members have a conflict of interest on any items? Seeing none. Any changes or deletions to the agenda, David?
No changes, Mayor.
Thank you. B, public comments. Any person wishing to speak to the City Council on any item not listed on the agenda may do so at this time. Members of the public have the right to speak on any item on the council agenda at the time the item comes up for consideration. Pursuant to the Brown Act, the City Council is not allowed to consider issues or take action on any item not listed on the agenda. 3 minutes are typically allotted to each speaker. Do you have anyone in the public that would like to make a public comment on an item not on the agenda? Seeing none, we will move on. C, communications. Council may discuss at this time written communications sent to council members since the last council meeting. Written communications to be discussed will be listed below. David, there's none on it. Do we have
No
any?
communications, Mayor.
Thank you. D, student liaison report. The student liaison is not able to make it tonight. I'll report a couple different things. I know the boys basketball team won their tournament this past weekend. Girls basketball team took second place. Unfortunately, I wasn't prepared for her not to be here, so I don't have any notes from her. There was a advisory door decoration contest at the high school today that I was lucky enough to be a judge for. And I would say 22 out of 26 classrooms participated, which was great. They did a phenomenal job, and JEH won the contest. And that's all I have. Anyone else have anything about the school district? Seeing none, we'll move on to E, proclamations. The Cloverdale Cemetery Trail Work Certificates of Appreciation. David?
Mayor, members of council, thank you for taking this item tonight. Included in your packet are various certificates of appreciation. This is for work that was performed at our Cloverdale Cemetery, most specifically work performed on the road that is the primary access throughout the cemetery. I want to particularly acknowledge the work that's been done by the Sons of the American Legion, Post 293. They have really been champions of our Cloverdale Cemetery and done a fantastic work to really not only preserve the cemetery and maintain it and upkeep it, but also recognize that is the burial grounds for a number of our veterans that served our nation. It's been a really tremendously beneficial and wonderful relationship to have with the American Legion in their work. Particularly want to acknowledge the leadership of Al Del Cid tonight, but included in your packet is a number of certificates of appreciation. Of course, representing the Legion tonight is Al Del Cid, Mr. Bob Cox, our former council member and planning commissioner, Mr. Daniel Neustadt. In addition, there are a number of local companies that participated in the work and either donated their labor or donated materials. That included DeGauley Trucking, Hal General Engineering, Steve Taylor Excavation. And certainly it goes without saying that the Lions Club, in particular, Mr. Sam Beeson, provided a lot of labor towards the project, and so I want to also acknowledge him. So what we'd like to do tonight, or what we're recommending to council, is to offer a certificate of appreciation to all of those volunteers for all the great work that they've done to support our cemetery. Happy to read them in the record if you'd like, but I'll pause there, Mayor.
Thank you. What I'd like to do first is ask if Al Del Cid or Bob Cox or anyone else listed here would like to make any comments or come up and say a little something about what you've done. Thank you, sir.
Bob Cox from the Sons of the American Legion. It's been a labor of love for the sons to kind of caretake the cemetery. And this last year, the major work that's been done on the roadway is thanks to a lot of volunteer work and effort from different organizations. So we're very happy to be here tonight to receive any recognition. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else in that group? Anyone from the council before I read the certificates? Anyone? Go. Okay. What I'll do is I'll read one of the certificates. I'll leave the name out because they're all the same with the different people's names, or when I get there, I will actually read every single person's name so that they're all listed. This certificate is awarded to, and I have separate ones for Al Del Cid, Bob Cox, Daniel Neustadt, DeGalley Trucking, which is Paul DeGalley, Howell General Engineering, which is Carl Howell, Sam Beeson from the Cloverdale Lions Club, and Steve Taylor Excavation. Esteemed owner of blank in Cloverdale is acknowledgement and deep appreciation of your dedicated efforts to the enhancement and improvement of Cloverdale Cemetery. Your commitment to the preservation and upkeep of this sacred ground stands as a testament to your unwavering dedication to honoring the memory of our departed heroes. Signed, myself today. If you haven't been to our cemetery over the past 2 decades till now, you should go. I'm not a big person that goes and stands around the cemeteries, but knowing what it was when I was younger to what it is now, the difference is amazing. The respect that they have given those that have passed and provided for our heroes from Cloverdale is amazing, and the history that you'll find when you go there is second to none. Would anyone else like to say something? Vice Mayor?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. You know, I'm just going to take a second here and not repeat what the mayor had said or the city manager, but I've been involved with the American Legion for a number of years, and I have to tell you that the sons of the Legion do such a wonderful job in working with the veterans that are members of the American Legion, and I really want to reach out and thank Al and Bob because they're the spearheads of Sons of the Legion. All the sons do a wonderful job for us, and I really appreciate it. And I think we'd be remiss if we also didn't thank our city staff for helping with the spruce up of the trails up there. I know Hector got to use his new wood chipper that blows the wood chips out like 25 feet or something, and it's his new toy. So, but Al, Bob, thank you. Appreciate your hard work.
Anyone else? All right. Could I ask everyone that is named in these certificates to take a photo with us in front of the dais here? Well, yep. All right. I'm good. Okay. Only one page, Al.
Okay.
Thanks, sir. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
My dear.
Thank you.
welcome, Bob.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Thank you.
I think it captures, you're usually in a.
A little early on the game there. Call that offsides. All right. Now we're back. We'll move on to E2, the Youth Sports Championship recognition of the Junior Varsity Cloverdale Chargers football and cheer.
Yep, thank you, Mayor. It's with great delight that we recognize tonight our local champions, the Junior Varsity Cloverdale Chargers. Our esteemed city clerk, Mike Maloney, was also a coach, and I know it was a lot of work for him in terms of his additional professional duty, or in addition to his professional duties to serve as a coach. And he's put together a nice little video to recognize the championship season of the Chargers.
You guys gonna go win a championship or what?
Charger football is exciting football. The Chargers have only one goal in mind, molding a championship team. So if we may, let's take a look at a really exciting football team in action.
You get one.
All right, is there anyone that would like to read this proclamation? Thanks, yeah. All right, I will. A proclamation of the City Council of the City of Cloverdale recognizing the Cloverdale Chargers Junior Varsity Championship title. Whereas Council is committed to the health and wellness of the Cloverdale community and understands the emotional, physical, and mental value youth sports have on developing youth. Whereas Council recognizes the recent achievements of the Cloverdale Junior Varsity Chargers football team in the Mendo Lake Empire Junior Football League, where they finished the regular season 7-1, 2-0 in playoffs, scoring an impressive 224 points while giving up only 59 points in the 10-game span. Whereas on October 28, 2023, the Cloverdale Chargers defeated the Lower Lake Trojans in a double overtime walk-off victory in the first round of playoffs by converting a touchdown pass on 4th and 20, followed by a successful point after touchdown run. And whereas on November 4th, 2023, our hometown Chargers faced the Colts of Middletown in a hard-fought championship game. The Chargers took the lead in the fourth quarter, followed by an impressive red zone defensive stand in the waning minutes of the game, allowing the offense to line up in the victory formation and run out the clock to preserve the win. Whereas Council acknowledges the hard work, dedication, sportsmanship, talent, and exceptional team chemistry of the 2023 JV Chargers football team, which enabled these student athletes to earn the title of MLEJFL champions. That's a long one. And the values the volunteer coaches' integral contributions in guiding the team to victory. And whereas Council appreciates the unwavering inspirational support of the 2023 Junior Varsity Cheer Squad, who, through spirited chants and routines, led crowd cheers, provided halftime entertainment, and motivated the players at every Chargers home, away, and playoff game, and values the volunteer coaches for their instruction and contributions to the sport of cheer. Whereas the Cloverdale City Council commends the Cloverdale Lions Club, who have sponsored the Chargers since 1960, and recognizes all youth participants at the Pee Wee, junior varsity, and varsity levels, as well as the board members, adult volunteers, and parents, as their efforts are essential to the success of the Chargers football and cheerleading programs. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the City Council of the City of Cloverdale does hereby recognize and celebrate the tremendous achievement and victorious efforts of the junior varsity Cloverdale Chargers, as their accomplishment has brought significant pride to the community and are now forever enshrined in Cloverdale's history as league champions. Dated December 13th, 2023, so ordered, Todd Lands, the mayor. More exciting than a Raiders game, I'll tell you that. At this time, I'd like to invite the coaches up and maybe say a little something. JT, if you'd like to come up as well. Say a little something about this season, this team. Coaches. Coaches. There you go. Don't make me say your name, TJ Bird.
All right, just want to thank everyone and mainly just introduce JT. We appreciate the Lions Club and JT's last year as the director of the football program. It's nice to send him out with a victory over Middletown in the championship. Probably the first for Cloverdale in the championship to take it home. So just appreciate all they done. Great group of kids. I think we ended up with about 15 or 16 in the lineup. So, yeah, it was a tough group, and thanks to the Lions Club and these guys.
Yep. This thing is really heavy, but we earned it, and we love it, and we keep thinking about next year and doing things that the Chargers do well. We also have a coach on the varsity team right here, who is our chief of police. He wants to win one really bad, so we're looking at that. But anyway, what I want to do is, all these young kids right here, please stand up. And all these coaches that put their time in, you guys are the best. Thank you very much. We had a board meeting for Lions Club the other day, and the Lions Club decided to go ahead and fund it for another 10 years or 15 years or whatever. So we're good.
Love it.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Would anyone on the council like to say anything? Justin, are you in? Go ahead. The mic is yours.
We also want to just thank the city for what you guys do. I mean, it's a big deal to us, those involved with what's going on, but to have you guys, add this to your guys' evening and give them the acknowledgement for the hard work that they did. We want to thank you guys for bringing us down and doing this, because it just means a lot to everybody, and you guys are showing that your support for it. And we got you guys some hats.
Yes. TJ? Nothing?
He's a man of few words.
Anyone on the council would like to make any comments?
I'd just like to thank the coaches. I know how much time, effort, and you guys are previous players, and obviously the coaching's working. And to the kids, good job, guys. You're in the history of Cloverdale now, so keep it going. Let's get all the way up into high school and keep that run going. Thank you.
Anyone over here?
Absolutely.
There's a lot of us in this room, guys, that strapped on the blue and gold, wore the Chargers jerseys, some of your fathers, some of your grandfathers, and some of your sisters, for the kid in the front row. So we know what it's like, but we don't know what it's like to do what you're doing right now, and that's winning a championship. So you can win games, but it takes a lot of heart and a lot of dedication and a lot of love and a lot of teamwork to make this happen. And so you guys are making Cloverdale proud. You guys make the Lions Club proud. You make your parents proud. And keep it going all the way through high school and keep winning, boys. We love it. So thank you. Let's come down and take a picture.
Absolutely.
don't know.
Make them all sit. Oh. I was gonna say, you know how to clear our room right there. Let them get out and get quiet. I know, right? I'll give them a second here. All right. Seems pretty quiet. All right, we'll move on to E3, the proclamation for the police chief, Jason Ferguson. Is there anyone that would like to read this?
I'll read it. A proclamation of the City Council of the City of Cloverdale acknowledging Police Chief Jason Ferguson for his numerous contributions and dedicated service to the residents and businesses of Cloverdale. Whereas Jason Ferguson started his career with the Lake County Sheriff's Department as a correctional officer in January of 1996, and whereas in September of 1998, Jason Ferguson began working for the Lakeport Police Department as a reserve police officer. And whereas in August of 2007, Jason was promoted to the rank of sergeant and subsequently promoted to the rank of lieutenant with the City of Lakeport Police Department. And whereas in 2015, while working as a police lieutenant, he earned his Bachelor of Science degree in Criminal Justice Management through Union Institute and University. And whereas Jason Ferguson was hired by the City of Cloverdale as the Chief of Police on August 5, 2019, and whereas Chief Ferguson delivered quality work product for the city by developing and implementing protocols and procedures for COVID, an updated animal control services agreement for the city, as well as numerous department-specific improvements, measures, and whereas Chief Ferguson was instrumental in addressing the impact of homelessness on the Cloverdale business community and preparation of the city's critical infrastructure protection ordinance. And whereas Chief Ferguson was responsible for making critical updates to the city's emergency preparedness infrastructure, including implementation of Nexel emergency alerts. And whereas Chief Ferguson was instrumental in updating the city emergency operation plan, including developing an evacuation plan and evacuation routes for the city of Cloverdale, whereas Chief Ferguson created the Cloverdale Wildlife Community Evacuation Plan, also known as Clove Ready, to implement a comprehensive outreach program, working with the resilient Cloverdale to ensure every resident, regardless of age, race, health, mobility, socioeconomical condition, and primary language, has a strong understanding of the steps they take before and during a mandatory evacuation. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the City Council of the City of Cloverdale does hereby express its sincere appreciation and gratitude to Jason Ferguson for his numerous contributions to the City of Cloverdale and the Cloverdale Police Department during his tenure as chief from 2019 to 2023. Be it further proclaimed that I, Todd Lance, Mayor of the City of Cloverdale, along with my fellow council members, do hereby acknowledge the dedication and significant contributions by Chief Jason Ferguson on behalf of the residents and businesses of Cloverdale, dated December 4, 2023, so ordered by Todd Lance, Mayor.
Chief, would you like to say anything?
This is still on. I just want to say thank you very much. It's been an honor to be here. I couldn't think of a better place to end my career. And, there was a lot of words said in there about what I did and whatnot, but it's really a team effort. It took a lot of people. And most importantly, nothing would have been accomplished at the police department if it weren't for council support. First and foremost, we have to get your approval to move forward with a lot of these things, and you always did. I felt very supported, also by David Kelly. I always brought things to him too, very much in support, and I think that makes all the difference in the world. It's a great place to be, great place to work. I'm excited for Chris and his new adventure, and I appreciate everything. And Jose, I had forgiven you after 4 years for being a Cowboys fan, but it's still okay, man. I thank all of you very much.
Anyone want to say something? Go ahead, please.
Well,
Not necessary.
I just wanted to express my personal gratitude for the professionalism and actually getting all of those accomplishments out of the way for Chief Parker. I'll just thank him. But seriously, I think this is the third time I've seen you in civies. The first time was when we interviewed you. And you were, hands down, the best candidate, and you brought so much to this community, so much humanity, so much of your law enforcement experience, and your compassion and your ability to manage your team. We're so lucky that that you led our police department these past years, and we just really appreciate. Not just your law enforcement service, but, the example that you provided in the community, the outreach that you did to business owners, which I still hear about all the time. So I just want to let you know, we really do appreciate you and your heart and your professionalism that you brought to the community. And hopefully you will not be a stranger.
Thank you, Melanie. Appreciate that.
Chief, Jason, congratulations on your career, and more so, congratulations on your retirement. Enjoy. There's life out there, so go have at it, and don't be a stranger. It's been a pleasure working with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm going to ditto on what Councilmember Bagby and what Councilmember Wheeler said, but I'm going to ramble a little bit too. And I just want to say, Jason, you had some difficult times coming on board 2019 to 23. That was a difficult time period. There was a lot of things going on, and you jumped right in and handled them. And just like Councilmember Bagby said, you were hands down the number one choice. You went above and beyond when you came to our budget workshop before the interviews, just to kind of get your arms around what you were dealing with. And you impressed me, and if you ever need a referral, you give me a shout out. But thank you for serving our city.
Thank you, Gus.
I want to thank you for your service, and I also want to say enjoy your retirement.
Thank you, and thank you for reading the proclamation.
Chief, I don't think anyone has touched every single community member the way that you have in such a short time in Cloverdale. From Resilient Cloverdale, Clover Ready, evacuation plans, the Nixle system, your operations plans that you've set up. You got so much accomplished in 4 years. I don't even know. It's a very high bar for Chief Parker. And it's a high bar for anyone else that's going to step into this department. You've got us a 10th officer. You've got us camera systems. You've got investigations closed that have been open for decades. You've done so many different things that no one else could accomplish. And I don't think Cloverdale would have if we had anyone else in the spot. When you came on, I did my own background check outside of this. As you know, I've told you, I have friends in Lake County in law enforcement, and I went to them, and they're like, you have the greatest man that we could have out of Lake County, and they were sad to see you go. And so that's when I knew we absolutely had the right one, when they're sad to see you leave, then you're the right one for us. And you were, and you always will be, and we can't thank you enough for everything you did.
Thank you, Todd. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And Mayor, if I can just offer a few words, I think the council really expressed a lot of the sentiment that I'm feeling tonight. You know, as you indicated, Vice Mayor, the last 4 years, we had some real significant emergency challenges where the safety and security of our community was affected significantly. And Chief and our new chief were right there. They're right there, standing by my side, standing by the city side, representing the city very well. And I think we made it through those events in large part based on the leadership of Chief Ferguson and, of course, his right-hand person, our new chief, Chief Parker. So, you know, also I think paved the way for our school resource officer, and I think that's something that we're starting to see is going to be vitally important in the future. So, you know, your leadership, Chief, will continue to live on in this community in terms of the work you did in emergency preparedness, but also in the realm of safety and security, which I know that was a key mission for you. And then, you know, last but not least, I think Chief is a critical member of our leadership team and always provided key insight on challenging issues and was a valuable member of our senior management team. And of course, it was always fun to see the banter between our police chief and our city attorney on sports matters. But you'll be missed, Chief, and of course, I think there's tremendous opportunities out there. They wait for you if you so choose. But wish you the very best in your retirement. And I know you got lots of fun stuff planned. So look forward to seeing you at some point.
Thank you, David. I appreciate it. Thank you, Chief. Oh, no.
Should turn green. Would you like me to help you?
No, I don't want you to help me. It was a pleasure. We've had a lot of, you know, all your accomplishments, you know, that they've stated. I know a lot more. Over the years, we've had many conversations about just about anything about life and, you know, my perspective, his perspective, especially the things that were going on in the community. And he kind of opened his eyes a little bit, and he's like, oh, I didn't realize, you know, he didn't look at it from my eyes, the things that were going on. And, you know, so he's that type of person that, you know, he's open to change, and he appreciates everybody, all of his employees. We've laughed a lot, cried a lot, you know, that why are we doing the COVID work and shutting down businesses? It's a small community, so we did everything. And I really appreciate your guidance, and I will continue to reach out to you. You have a home here always, and you have a friend. Thank you. I do have something for you. So I reached out to, I think I told you this, to Congressman Hoffman's office for a flag for you that they flew over our nation's capital. They finally got back to me last week. We're sending it to you. So they sent a certificate of your appreciation of your 28 years of service and your service to Cloverdale. So I'll have the flag to present to you.
Wow.
With the certificate. So
Thank you so much, Chris.
thank you.
And everything you said, I appreciate it. Please, yeah, if I get a photo with everybody.
You haven't cried yet. You haven't cried yet. He's going to stay till the end.
Yeah. Jose, come down, get in this picture. Of the speaking behind you guys. Yeah.
I've always been there. All right, man. Let's see.
You're gonna cry.
Chief, before you go, if you get on TikTok and follow Brian Martin, you'll see what to do with your time.
Thanks for the tip.
Awesome, Lake County. He videos every camping trip he goes on and puts it on TikTok. Oh, wow.
Wow. Brian.
Okay. Moving on to, are we ready? Everyone good? Okay. Moving on to G, the consent calendar. All items under the consent calendar will be considered together by one action of the City Council unless any council member or member of the public requests that an item be removed and considered separately. Anyone want to pull any? Oh, I'm sorry. Should go to the restroom?
Want to recess or do you want
Yeah, let's recess till she gets back at 6:37. Convene at 6:39. I'll reread the consent calendar. All items under the consent calendar will be considered together by one action of the City Council unless any council member or member of the public requests that an item be removed and considered separately. Would anyone like to pull any items? Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Yep, I'm waiting for you.
Thank you, Mayor. Councilmember Bagby?
Aye, but don't we need to open it up to?
No, we do not. There was no, on consent calendar, you don't have to.
If anybody has a comment, they would come up and ask to be.
To pull that item separately.
Aye.
Councilmember Morgenstern?
Aye.
Councilmember Wheeler?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Wolter?
Aye.
Mayor Lance?
Aye. Passes 5-0. Moving into new business, I-1, designate the City of Cloverdale's priority project and authorize submittal of application to the Sonoma County Community Development Commission for fiscal year 24-25 Community Development Block Grant Funding, the CDBG grant, for the City Park Scouts Cabin ADA improvement projects. Kevin, is this you?
Sure, I can take this. Mayor, council members, again, this is a resolution designating the Scouts Cabin as your priority project for this year's CDBG grant application. It also authorizes the city manager to, is this working?
Yes.
To submit the application. This is one of the steps in the process. Along with this resolution is also not a super long application, but an application where we define what the project is, and then we seek money. We're seeking $250,000. That will probably get refined as we get a little bit closer. Hector and Vanessa, our city engineer, were out last week taking measurements and trying to get an idea of what needs to happen to make the Scouts Cabin more ADA accessible. And we think we have some good ideas. This is kind of our first step in our movement towards bringing the Scouts Cabin kind of up to speed where we can use it for recreational programming, maybe a potential office for some, recreation workers. And so basically, we just need this resolution in order to put in the packet, which is due on January 8th, the grant application.
Thank you. Any questions or comments?
Maybe just one, Mr. Mayor. Kevin or David, would we be contributing any other funding to the renovation of the Scout Cabin, or are we just going to hold off at this point? If by chance we don't get the full amount that we're requesting, do we have other resources to put towards the project?
Vice Mayor, I'll address your question. First and foremost, we want to get your authorization to submit the application for funding. And of course, it's our goal and hope that we will get awarded CDBG funds to primarily address the accessibility needs for the building and the facility. We will be, as part of the budget development process for the next 2-year budget, bringing forward a more comprehensive proposal to make changes or improvements to the Scouts Cabin. We see this as kind of a way to kind of go ahead and kickstart that effort with grant funds. In CDBG, really, we're obligated to serve low-income communities, and ADA is kind of meets ADA projects meet that criteria. So that's why we're targeting this particular funding to initiate that work, and it's a way to be able to ensure that if we get awarded, it's a way to ensure that the building meets criteria for providing access, and so it's kind of a starting point. We do think that long term there would be the need for additional funding, either in the way of park impact fees, certainly general fund money, but that'll be something that we would bring forward as part of the budget process, because this particular grant is, or the application we're submitting is for fiscal year 24-25. So the funding, if awarded, it wouldn't become available till next fiscal year. And so, as part of the budget process, we really we want to hone in on what are the needs for the Scouts Cabin, and with council discuss what other funding sources that we can utilize for the project, and some of that might evolve in terms of what are what are some of the programming that it's developed for the Scouts Cabin. So kind of a long-winded answer to your question, Vice Mayor, but it partly depends, but there will be more to come.
Anyone else? Any members of the public who would like to make a comment? Seeing none, we'll bring it back. Oh, go ahead.
Only that I think that this is a great application, and I really look forward to being able to get it in and use that Scout Cabin. I was at the city park just today and looked at the building wistfully as I walked past, and can't wait for it to be an alternative location where we can have community outreach. I think it's especially timely given the recent acquisition of the open space, because I just think that the synergy between the higher traffic city park and the open space is just going to be a wonderful resource. So I think this is definitely the right direction. I'm looking forward to it.
Anything else? Seeing none. Motion. Thank you. Second. It's a resolution.
Resolution of the City Council of the City of Cloverdale designating the City of Cloverdale as priority project and authorizing submittal of an application to the Sonoma County Community Development Commission for fiscal year 2024-25. Am I reading the right one, Mike?
You are.
I just can't hear. And the green light's on, so
I know.
anyway.
I'm not hearing it. It's everyone. It's just. I think I'm the only one that's really hot right now.
Oh, well, you know what? I can get a little closer to, how
There you
about that?
go.
How about that? It's just the iPad versus mic stand problem. So I'll just pick it up where I left off. I think you guys know where I'm going with this. Community Development Block Grant Funding for the City Park Scouts Cabin ADA Improvement Project.
I'll second, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. My mic is also one of the quiet ones. Councilmember Bagby?
Aye.
Councilmember Morgenstern?
Aye.
Councilmember Wheeler?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Wolter?
Aye.
Mayor Lands?
Aye. Passes 5-0. Kevin, thank you for getting this done. Great job in getting it done in time. All right, next item, I2, annual selection of mayor and vice mayor.
Thank you, Mayor. There's an agenda report that provides an overview of this annual process. So typically, the selection of mayor and vice mayor is brought to council and takes place at your first council meeting in December. Often these are done after elections. This year was not an election year, but following the same process, this is brought forward for council's consideration and decision. The recommended process for selection of mayor is to have the mayor call for nominations, and nominations are received by and from members of the city council. At that point, council can open it up for public comment, and then bring it back to council for any following comments, and a vote is taken at that point. If there are multiple nominees, staff would recommend taking the vote beginning with the first nominee. That really concludes the agenda. My report. Council can take it up, is either both in a motion for mayor and vice mayor, or to break those out and receive nominations independently.
Thank you, David. If you guys don't mind, the last couple of years, it's been a little bit convoluted deciding which way, so I was hoping we could just choose a way, and that was like, get the nominations done first for mayor, have the discussions and the vote, and then move on to vice mayor separately, so that we're not trying to go back and forth like we've had to do in the past. It just makes it a little bit more organized. So start.
Mr. Mayor, if I could, I'm sorry, if I could just say that, and I don't mean to be presumptuous or anything, but please, I don't think at this point in time that I could fulfill either the mayor's position or the vice mayor. So in your selections, please leave me out of the process. Like I said, I didn't mean to think that I was going to be nominated, but just so you know, I just can't
You
do it.
definitely meet the criteria, but we take that, we understand.
Thank you.
Marjorie, anything? Anyone wants to start? So what we're going to do is we're going to make a nomination for who you would want to be mayor, and everyone has the ability to choose someone, and we'll vote later. We'll nominate first, let the public speak, bring it back, and go through each person's name. Yes, you can.
I'd like to nominate the current mayor to be the next mayor, Todd Lands.
I'm going to go the same route as Councilman Morgenstern there, and reason being is it's been a pleasure to work with the current mayor right now with Todd Lance. I've dealt with him quite a bit, and he's very approachable, and it always seems if I have a question or I'm wondering what's going on with a certain thing, and I may drive around the city and go, look, I'm usually meeting him there. He's usually beating me there to the punch on that, and he's kind of got the same thought process. There's a lot of irons in the fire, and I think we're making great progress in Cloverdale right now, and I want to see that continue on. So my nomination for the mayor, for mayor, is the current mayor, Todd.
I'll open it up to the public.
If I could just add, Mr. Mayor, I've had the opportunity to be mayor while I was also employed, and I think other council members have tried to do both. And it's a big commitment, and I just want to make sure that that you're up for it again. I don't think anybody means to put you on the spot, but if you're comfortable with it, I could support it. But you really have to think long and hard if your business is going to suffer or not, because of taking on this responsibility. So just something to think about.
I won't even discuss the latter part of that comment because the hit is big, but I'm here for a reason. And this is where I want to be if this is where the city wants me. Is there anyone in the public that would like to make a comment or anything towards a nomination for mayor? Please, Susie. Susie Cummings.
I'm Susie Cummings, and I have only been in Cloverdale for a few years, since 2019, so I'm not familiar with this process, so it's really very educational, and I'm excited that Mayor Lands might serve again for another year. So I'm hoping that it works out that way. I'm supportive of all of you, but I've really been impressed with how Mayor Lands has been able to juggle so many different perspectives and interests in the community. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Anyone else like to make a comment? Seeing none, we'll bring it back to the dais. There's only one name, so I'll ask for a second.
I'll second, Mr. Mayor.
So with that,
Jose, out of curiosity, because we have two nominations for the same individual, is that a first and a second, or can that be both? First nominee is from Morgan
First
Stern.
person that nomination.
Second will be from Vice Mayor Walter.
correct.
Councilmember Bagby?
No.
Councilmember Morgenstern?
Aye.
Councilmember Wheeler?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Walter?
Aye.
Mayor Lance?
Aye. And we'll move on to vice mayor. For nominations, the same process.
I'd like to make a nomination of Councilman Brian Wheeler because Brian is very easy to talk to. He's highly intelligent. He keeps a good eye out on the city, and he's very grounded in everything he does.
Fine with that, Mr. Mayor.
Yeah.
Bagby? Open it up to the public. Would anyone like to make a nomination or speak on the nominations for vice mayor? Seeing none, we'll bring it back to the dais. We'll use Councilmember Morgenstern as the nomination and vice mayor as the second.
Councilmember Bagby?
No.
Councilmember Morgenstern?
Aye.
Councilmember Wheeler?
Aye.
Councilmember Walter? Mayor Lance?
Aye. Passes 4-1. Congratulations. Thank you. Moving forward, I3, review and discussion of updated City Council 2024 Subcommittee, Joint Committee, and Regional Board Committee appointments.
Thank you, Mayor, members of council. This item is really informational. What's included in your packet are preference ranking or priority ranking forms for your desired appointments to subcommittees, joint committees, and regional boards. There is kind of the forms are set up so that you can rank the subcommittees from 1 to 5, meaning 1 being the subcommittee you would most be interested in serving as a member of that subcommittee. In terms of the tabulation, it'll take those results back and bring the tabulated results back to council at your first meeting in January with preliminary recommendations for the appointments to the subcommittees. Some of the criteria that I'll use to at least make those recommendations. Again, my recommendations to council will only be a starting point. It's ultimately up to council to decide which members you want to assign to each of the 5 subcommittees. And some of the criteria will include to provide some continuity in membership by having one of you continue to serve on that subcommittee. Again, not required, but I'll use that as a criteria. and also to try to provide equal workload amongst all of you in your subcommittee assignments, because it's a lot of time and effort to participate in subcommittees. I know it keeps you very busy. So that's just an overview of again, the criteria that'll utilize to take your rankings and your preferences and bring those back in terms of recommendations. In terms of regional boards, what I tried to do was on the ranking sheets, list all of the regional boards. Again, there's quite a few. Some of those involve obviously formal appointments to formal governmental authorities. For example, the Sonoma County Transportation Authority, the Waste Management Agency, etc. Whereas other memberships involve supporting the Senior Center or the Library Advisory Board. Really, all that's necessary for you to do on that is just indicate your desire to serve on one of those regional boards, and based on that, again, I'll bring back some recommendations for your consideration. I want to thank Councilmember Morgenstern. She already submitted her priority ranking sheets. So if I can receive those back from you prior to January 1st, that'd be really helpful. I did make copies with your names on it, and noting I already got a copy from Councilmember Morgenstern, but I'll hand these out to you.
Thank you.
If you want to take a few minutes and indicate your preference and get these back to me, I'll plan to bring that back at your first meeting on January 10th in 2024. So I'll go ahead.
So David, if we don't get them back tonight, could we give them to you before the end of the year? Is that what you would like? Or we're not going to try to fill them out tonight?
Oh, you don't have to fill them out tonight. It's really just get them back to me.
Thank you.
By no later than January 1st. So that way I have time to tabulate the results.
Sure.
So it should have your individual name on.
Oh, they have names on?
Oh, here's Marjorie's. Yeah.
Marjorie already submitted hers.
Yes, you have your own.
Oh, lucky pick.
You were the lucky one.
But like I said, I already received Councilmember Morgenstern's preferences, but if I can get them all back from each of you. So no action required tonight. Again, this is just part of the annual process that we'll bring back for your start of the calendar year.
Thank you, David. And if anyone has any questions or anything, you've done this once, please reach out to David, and I recommend participation in these. Okay, moving on. Subcommittee reports. First one is Finance, Admin, and Police. Next meeting is not scheduled for 2024. We'll be going over the schedules as well, probably in January, to reset dates.
That's absolutely right, Mayor. Your first meeting, part of the selection process for subcommittee assignments also includes discussion by council on meeting dates and times, and some of that's contingent upon which council members are selected for each of the subcommittee. Because what we'll ultimately do is, based on your recommendations on January 10th, is bring back a resolution on the following meeting, setting the meeting dates and times for each of those, for each of the council subcommittees. And that's to ensure compliance with the Brown Act.
Thank you. And I'll run through these so that you guys don't have to if you want. The Homelessness Community Advisory Group, the next meeting is not scheduled yet. Joint City and School, that is a wrong date. That meeting has been canceled, and so we'll have another one in 2024. Planning Sustainability is scheduled for December 19th. And Public Works and Facilities is not scheduled until 2024 as well. Council member reports. Any written reports or informational verbal reports?
We did receive a written report from Councilmember Bagby earlier today.
Thank you. On legislator, the letter of support. David, do you want to talk about the Alexander Valley Transformation and Habitat Restoration Initiative?
Absolutely. We received a request to sign a letter of support for the Alexander Valley Transformation and Habitat Restoration Initiative that is sponsored by NOAA. Included in your packet is a letter of support for the grant application that was being led up by Ms. Adrienne Garialdi in cooperation and support with Sonoma Water and Supervisor Gore. The mayor signed it, and we're just including it here for your reference.
Questions? Great. City manager report.
Mayor, members of council, just a couple things I wanted to share with council. Really just wanted to provide just a quick update on weather. We're expected to get a fairly significant storm starting this weekend. We could get anywhere from what's forecast is 1 to 3 inches over about a week time frame. When we get that amount of rain in a short period of time, there's always a chance of light flooding, and so I just wanted to share with council that we may experience that. Right now, it's just a forecast. Don't expect any significant flooding, but it is one of the more significant rain events scheduled or forecast for the year. In terms of precipitation, so far we're only about 45% of average. We've got at least in Santa Rosa is about 3.59 inches, and kind of averages around 7 inches. So maybe with the storm we'll be right at or close to average for the year. But it kind of brings back memories of last year and all those significant storms we started getting in late December. Also wanted just to provide a quick update on our police department. Obviously, with the recruitment and promotion of Lieutenant Parker to chief, we have an opening, and we had been recruiting for lieutenant for quite a long time, and we did not receive any applications. So reviewed by the police or the finance admin and police subcommittee is a kind of a change in organization to have 3 sergeants in lieu of 2 sergeants and a lieutenant position. So we're currently doing an internal recruitment for sergeant. In anticipation of that recruitment, and hopefully we have a successful internal candidate, would open up a position for a police officer. We have also initiated that recruitment. That recruitment's available. It's on our website, and we're pushing that out. So kind of trying to do our best to address the need for additional officers by pushing out that promotion. We also are promoting again within for a detective position. It's not a new position. It's allowed for in the MOU, and it would certainly meet needs within our police department. So a lot going on with the promotion of Chris Parker to chief, and we're doing our best to address the needs by making those organizational changes. We're obviously very delighted. Last week had the opportunity to attend the graduation of our police officer trainee, Marlene, and she's I think already started doing the ride-arounds and field training with Officer Vanoni. I don't know if Chief, if you have anything else you want to add in terms of organizational changes.
I do have an applicant for officer.
Great.
Lateral position. She's been looking at us for a while, and we just haven't had an opening. So turned her app today. So
We're delighted we already got a potential applicant. We worked really hard to fill that 10th officer position with the police officer trainee. So this is good news that we've already got someone on deck. I know with all the graduates, there's probably some interest out there as well. So a great department, and if anybody listen in, look at that application. End of report, Mayor.
Thank you. All right, we're going to go with the city attorney report. Council direction on any future agenda items.
Tighten up the ordinances or something, so like, maybe like, that they have 5 years of warning if somebody takes over the park. And I think it's important because if we could have a discussion on it at some point, because if a lot of these trailers are too old to move, and it's very costly for them to move. And I just feel like if a new landlord comes in, we don't want to all of a sudden have a bunch of people that are homeless. So I think
So
it's
I wanted to let you finish because I wanted you to get it all out there with this idea, but we're already working on it in one of our committees
oh, okay, great.
for this
I didn't
exact
know that.
policy. No, I know, and that's why it's at the Finance Admin Police Committee right now. And so tell him we're working on it, we're moving forward, and it's a great idea, and thank you. It's awesome.
As a matter of fact, Mr. Frankston contacted me as well, and I let him know that we were working at it at the police admin and finance subcommittee, and that it was, and for him to watch the January agenda and whether or not staff is ready to present it or not. And I told him I would keep in contact with him as well. That's a very important piece of our ordinance to be reviewing, just in light of what's happened locally and the rest of the county, and honestly throughout the state. I think we're really seeing a transformational time on that. So I anticipate that I'm looking forward to seeing what staff is recommending, and then having a full and robust discussion amongst the rest of the council for solid direction.
I was in contact with the Vice Mayor of Petaluma because they've already done this, and I think Sebastopol has too. And she said if we need any help at all, to have our city attorney contact her city attorney, and they'd be more than willing to help us.
Perfect. He's nodding in the affirmative, so that's perfect. Thank you. Anything else? Yes.
I have something good of the order, maybe.
Okay.
When you-
That's where we're at, sir, so.
Well, this weekend, I had the opportunity to watch cable channel 26, and it was the Hillsburg City Council meeting. And Kevin, correct me if I'm wrong, but they were discussing the contractor's remedy.
Builder's remedy?
Yeah, builder's remedy, thank you. And it was really, what I thought was very well presented. It was very thorough. They covered just about everything. And just new council members, even staff, if you wanted to go on YouTube and look up City of Hillsburg and look at their meeting, it was well presented because that item is going to come back to us at some point.
Kevin, you want to speak to that? Just.
Are you talking about the REACH code or the builder's remedy?
A builder's remedy.
Okay. Right, well, we did have our application withdrawn. I sent an email to the council to that effect, but since our housing element is now adopted and certified, we should be through that. But I'll.
So I think it's still Vice Mayor. We were happy to put a presentation on as well. I know that now with our housing element certified, we don't run the risk of a builder's remedy as when our housing element was not. Happy to discuss that with our council members as well, and happy to provide information. Again, we're luckily way ahead of many jurisdictions that are still waiting for that certification.
Well, they were also talking about the REACH code too, and it was enlightening. So, for what it's worth,
The REACH code is definitely something else to deal with. One more thing for the good of the order was the Winter Festival went off, was phenomenal, even though the weather wasn't cooperating. Having the help of the city staff and the Lions Club helped immensely with the setup and cleanup, and I hope that we can continue that partnership with the chamber. And I also want to thank Chief Parker and the POA for the party that you guys threw for the city. That was by far the best one I've been to yet. And then the Grinch just really put it over the top. So you guys had more participation and more excitement and more positivity there than I've seen yet. And so thank you very much for creating that. Else? Seeing none, we'll adjourn the meeting at 7:10 p.m. Thank you.